teaching that responds to a wide range of abilities based on Eva Giamathi's chapter from the book, Disadvantage as Advantage. Gifted students from socio-culturally disadvantaged backgrounds. Challenges in school education. In many places, school education still operates using a uniform teaching model that rarely considers students' individual differences in abilities. Common teaching methods often favor a narrow group of learners from higher socio-cultural backgrounds, leaving other students' potential untapped. Ignoring different sensory modalities, learning styles, and thinking strategies hinders the effectiveness of learning. The key to development is recognizing that every student learns differently and has a unique ability profile. Therefore, the goal of education should not be standardization, but adaptation to student diversity. This requires differentiated pedagogical methods and personalized learning opportunities. The challenges of differentiation in schools. As early as the previous century, it became clear that a teaching model that offers the same content and expects the same outcome from every student is inherently unfair. As a result, differentiation became a pedagogical expectation, providing different content to students with varying abilities. However, for teachers, this can feel like an acrobatic task, especially in highly heterogeneous classrooms. Moreover, deciding what level of task complexity is appropriate for each student places a great burden on teachers. According to the Pygmalion effect, a teacher's expectations about a learner's ability can shape that learner's development, performance, and future. Talent identification often results in labeling and unidentified talent, especially among students who struggle to demonstrate their abilities, can be negatively labeled. The best approach to identifying talent is to offer enrichment opportunities to every student. If all children can engage in diverse learning tasks at various levels of challenge, they each have the opportunity to demonstrate their unique abilities. With this opportunity and the trust it fosters, all students can grow and achieve more. Self-differentiated teaching in schools. Self-differentiated teaching allows students to choose their learning paths based on their interests and abilities. The teacher's role becomes one of guidance, observation, and supportive feedback. This approach is especially effective in mixed ability classrooms, as it allows for individual differences without disrupting group cohesion. Self-differentiation can take place on several levels. Use of modalities. Learning becomes more effective when students can engage through different sensory modalities: visual, auditory, kinesthetic. Students can approach content through the modality that best fits their developmental stage and learning style. Examples: visual, using images, drawings, diagrams, real objects. Visualization of ideas, mind maps. Auditory, using music to support learning, singing content, sound effects, reading aloud. Kinesthetic, tactile, connecting information to movement, hand signs for solmization, touch-based activities, drama, movement-based games. Multi-channel teaching should be a standard practice. The use of modalities also naturally integrates the arts, visual, musical, and movement-based, into teaching. For learners from socio-culturally disadvantaged backgrounds, it is particularly important to connect language with perception and gradually increase the proportion of language-based elements. For example, describing a picture, presenting knowledge using a mind map, performing and naming a movement sequence. Engaging the whole brain. Traditional teaching often overemphasizes left brain functions like logic, language, and sequencing. Self-differentiated instruction aims to activate the whole brain, engaging creativity, emotions, spatial awareness, and associative thinking. Strategies for strengthening analytical verbal processing. Whole-to-part instruction. Start with an overview, a mind map or summary table. Then add details. Strategy board games. Combine visual and physical stimuli while reinforcing logic and sequencing. Collaborative activities. Emotional experiences and peer interactions support comprehension and memory. Peer explanation, discussion, argumentation, and debate all support cognitive and communication development. Playful, visual, musical, physical, and emotional elements promote deeper, more personal learning. Different levels and learning domains, self-differentiated teaching allows students to work at different levels of difficulty and in various areas of interest. Not all students must complete the same task. Rather, they can choose activities that provide appropriate challenge without exceeding their current skill level. This approach supports self-regulated learning, increases motivation, and promotes self-awareness. Suitable methods include project-based learning. Complex tasks develop diverse competencies. Open-ended tasks and questions allow learners to approach problems creatively and independently. Task choice. Students choose from tasks of similar effort but differing complexity. For example, copying a page of text versus inventing and writing a story. Self-differentiation teaches students to balance challenge and skill. When challenge matches ability, students experience joy and success. In contrast, when the task is too difficult, repeated failure and a sense of inadequacy can lead to loss of motivation. Schools should always provide opportunities for creative thinking, novel experiences, and imaginative expression. Creativity thrives in an environment that is structured. Knowing the system enables meaningful innovation. Flexible. Rigid environments inhibit experimentation and playfulness. Non-evaluative. Pressure from grading or time limits hinders creativity. Any topic can be approached through creative tasks, but it's important to consider how much knowledge and how much imagination a task requires. Creativity evolves through 3 developmental phases. 1. Pre-conventional, free play, and childlike creativity, unconstrained by prior knowledge. 2. Conventional, the phase of acquiring knowledge and turning toward reality. 3. Post-conventional, creative thinking built upon solid knowledge, where imagination generates ideas connected to facts. In teaching, it is useful to intentionally design tasks that follow this sequence. Free imagination, learning the knowledge-creative application of knowledge. The mosaic method. The mosaic or jigsaw method is a cooperative learning technique where each student takes responsibility for one part of the content and then the group puts the parts together to build a complete understanding, like assembling a puzzle. This method supports differentiation by allowing each student to contribute according to their strengths. It also develops responsibility, communication, collaboration, self-confidence, and interpersonal skills. It enables education to accommodate diverse abilities while fostering not only cognitive, but also social and emotional development. Teaching becomes truly effective when it acknowledges the diversity of students' abilities, developmental pathways, and learning styles. Self-differentiated instruction, creative tasks, and cooperative methods such as the jigsaw method provide all students with opportunities for growth and self-expression.